So the season finale of season 1 of What If dropped today. It was awesome. Now, before I start talking about this specific episode, I would like to go over my thoughts on What If as a whole. I will be doing an episode ranking either today or tomorrow, or sometime in the next few days. I don't know. But I'll admit it's my least favorite of the MCU TV shows so far. I mean, like there's some great episodes, but there's also some really just lame episodes that I don't really care for. See, it is my least favorite overall. Not bad, just my least favorite. So, as for this episode, I thought it was fantastic. It's a great season finale. So, I did have some issues. What's the whole Gamora thing about? Like, why didn't we ever see the Gamora Stark Sakaar episode? Because I mean, Tony Stark looks like he was in Sakarian armor. So why didn't we ever see that episode? I mean, I assume it's going to be in season 2 because they shortened this season to 9 episodes as opposed to 10. But I mean, like really? You couldn't just had it be 10 and then include that episode. It would have made sense because now we're just in this timeline that we've never seen before. It doesn't really make sense. Um Speaking of Gamora, the actress that they got to voice Gamora sounds nothing like Gamora. I mean, she doesn't talk a lot during the episode, so that's fine, but it just bothered me. She didn't sound anything like the actual Gamora. Same with Ultron. Yeah, I talked about it in my review of last week's episode, but the voice that they got for Ultron just I don't like it. It doesn't sound like Ultron. It sounds like someone doing a cheap imitation of Ultron. So, yeah. And then why would the Watcher select Killmonger? It's Killmonger. He's a manipulative sociopath. Not only that, he doesn't do anything in this episode aside from like at the end when he tries to get the Infinity Stones and Ultron tries to stop him. That's all he does. Like seriously, he has like one line in the episode before that. I kid you not, it is literally one line. He says to T'Challa, "Man, you are from another planet, aren't you?" What does that line even mean? But yeah, that's all my issues with this episode. Otherwise, it was great. Um, the first like I don't know how long it was, like a minute and a half, 2 minutes or so of the Watcher just recruiting characters, and that's always been something that I've really enjoyed. Like when they said we're gonna need some reinforcements, and then they just do this montage of recruiting characters. Like the actual process of teaming up is just so unbelievably cool to me. That's probably why I like the Avengers and Guardians of the Galaxy and the Suicide Squad so much. But yeah, and here you see Captain Carter in the first scene of Winter Soldier, and that was cool. Like it's a similar scene to like the first scene of Winter Soldier with Captain America interacting with Nat or Black Widow, and then just jumping out of the thing without a parachute. That was cool. And fighting Batroc, who hey, thanks to the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and not this because this guy doesn't look the Batroc in this show looks nothing like Batroc. But anyway, so that was cool. And that does kind of follow up on what we saw at the end of the Captain Carter episode, where where Nick Fury and Hawkeye find her, and when we see T'Challa, he's saving Peter Quill from Ego doing that weird universe celestial suck thing. So yeah, that was cool. Don't see anything from episode 3 until later, and I will talk about that. Episode 4, we already got the Doctor Strange thing in the last episode, episode 5. Talk about that later too. Oh, that was so cool. Anyway, episode 6, we see Shuri and Pepper, who thankfully does not speak with the terrible voice that they got to voice her. And they just come running in, and Killmonger's not there. Episode 7, we see Party Thor just destroying these guys, these Ultron drones left and right, and it's pretty awesome. So yeah, it was cool. And then they call themselves the Guardians of the Multiverse, and when I first heard that, I was like, oh, that's such a cool name, because it's such a cool name. And then like the Watcher informs them of what they're doing, and then the entire rest of the episode is just one giant climax. It is awesome. It's so cool. We get a couple of minutes of the team bonding, and then boom, Ultron shows up, action blazing and stuff. The zombies get dumped onto Ultron via a Doctor Strange portal. So that was cool, and like there's no. Like, what were they going to do? Were they going to get Scott Lang's head from the zombie episode and get him to tell dad jokes while everybody else was doing things? Really? No. But they did get the zombies to reappear. Zombie Wanda got to do very little because she just shot, like, energy at Ultron and then did this confused look, and then he blew up the entire planet. So, yeah, all the zombies died. Yeah. That was sad. Black Widow shows up, which is cool, from the episode 8 Black Widow, and it's like, oh yeah, she did survive. I wasn't really thinking about her because I was so excited about the Guardians of the Multiverse. It's such a cool name. The episode's funny, especially Party Thor. I'll admit I didn't think he was that funny in his own episode, but in this episode he is really funny. There's a lot of really, really great action. There's this one really cool shot of just, it focuses on Ultron, and we just see all the members of the Guardians of the Multiverse just punching him and destroying him as he, like, tries to fight back. And it's such a cool shot. And then there's this one that just focuses on the Soul Stone on the ground as everybody tries to get to it. And, I don't know, it was just really cool. The cinematography for this episode was top notch. And then with the ending of the episode, Peggy Carter kind of hesitates going back, but then the Watcher's like, trust me, that world, that time, needs Captain Carter. It was cool. And I was thinking to myself, well, yeah, they probably do, but wait a second, because if I'm correct in assuming that Captain Carter does pretty much the same things as what Captain America did in the movies, then it's pretty safe to assume that she'll end up with Steve by the end of Endgame. That's just really cool to think about, because she was probably my favorite character within this episode. Okay, aside from maybe Doctor Strange Supreme, but it was one of those two. I mean, like, she was not the problem with her own episode. She was great. And then when I first saw the episode, when the Watcher takes Black Widow to this timeline where you see Captain America, Captain Marvel, and Nick Fury all fighting Loki and the Chitauri, I thought to myself, oh, it's a world where Black Widow died. A new timeline. But then when I watched it a second time, and a third time, I watched it 3 times today, I realized, wait a second, he's taking her to episode 3! And that is why they never showed anything from episode 3. Because there was nothing left in episode 3, because most of the Avengers died. So that was cool. Yeah, so I didn't get that upon first viewing, but then I did. And I really like how this episode incorporates a lot of the different themes of these characters. You get Doctor Strange in there, Captain America, which we'll talk about in a bit. And then the mid-credits scene. Oh, man. We see Captain Carter arriving in the timeline that she was originally in. She gets Widow electrocutes not Batroc, because, again, Batroc looks nothing like Batroc. Yeah. So, and then she takes her to this, like, this little bunker thing that Batroc and his people were trying to, trying to take or something. I don't know. And you see that it's the Hydra Stomper, and then Widow's like, there's something inside, and Captain Carter's face just lights up. It's so wholesome. And it's aided by this really soft piano version of the Captain America theme. And it's so cool. Like, I don't know, just that really got me. So, yes, overall, this is one of the best episodes of the series. Um, I really enjoyed it, and I enjoyed the series overall. So yeah, I will be doing an episode ranking and a character ranking. I know there's only one, but yes, yeah. Thank you for watching. Keep calm and watch on.